And we're live. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. This here is Money, Marriage, and Media. I'm your host, Mike, and today's show is called Is She Marriageable? Now, for those of you who are new here, the point of this show is to. Welcome back. Okay. The point of this show is to prove that there are marriageable women out there. Because I know if you watch these YouTube videos, they'll tell you that no, modern women just aren't marriageable anymore. There are no wives to be found. I disagree with that. So, well, what's really going on here then? Because you could just, look at the results and say, well, no, look at all these women out here and they don't behave like wives. Here's the issue. I believe that there is a big number of women who are marriageable, but the issue is that there's not a universal standard for what a wife is. What do I mean by that? Okay, well, we are grading women on whether or not they're marriageable, at least for the purpose of this show, based on 6 categories, right? Fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless. Now, the average man will usually go for about 3 to 4 out of the 6. So to most men, most women are not going to appear as marriageable because every guy is looking for something specific. So if you don't meet that criteria, and most women won't, just because it's a combination there, that's how you can start believing that there's just no more wives out here. Now, here's the thing. The advice I can give for you ladies, because there's a significant number of women who have subscribed to my channel, right? The best advice I can give you is that out of those 6, the 3 categories that fit you the best, that those characteristics stand out about you, what you should be looking for is a guy who values those characteristics. And a lot of times, this is why the perception is that there aren't any wives out there, is because what that guy is looking for, he may not be attracting. Or what you're looking for as a woman, you might not be able to afford it with your sexual marketplace value. You may not have enough of the attributes that guy is looking for him to take notice of you. So there is room for improvement on both sides. But like I said, the point of this show is to prove that there are marriageable women out there. So how do we do that? Well, this is why we look at Kendra's show, Singles on YouTube Live, because it's a good sample size of actual women who are out here, and not just me just inviting a bunch of, how you say, well, you know what? Well, I'm not even going to go there. But you guys have seen all the shows, all the dating shows where you get the stereotypical women, and it's like all of them have the same issues. That's not what we're going here. We want actual people. For those of you who are new here, number 1, like the video on your way in. And number 2, my channel is about average people. I want to give a shout out to my moderator, Chris. Chris, it's good to see you in the chat, my man. Let's see. You didn't get a notification. Well, you know what? It wouldn't be the first time. So, I mean, that happens. I've had, I'm starting to think that's just YouTube now. And as complex as it is, I think that a lot of times they drop the ball on some stuff. So it is what it is, right? But we're going to keep moving. So let's go ahead and get to the first guest. Also, again, like the video, number 1, and number 2, channel membership is now open, and I have access to exclusive content that most likely will not be seen by just a regular subscription. So there it is. If you want to see it, you want to have access to that material, you have to join channel membership, right? So that being said, let's go ahead and get going.
Okay, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. The chat. Okay. All right. So I'm about to pin it. Whoo, child. Okay. Back to our regular scheduled program. Hey, y'all. Tony One of O's that have good Wi-Fi, have good light. Everybody Only coming up over will to be a highlight. No videos come down. Kendra G, that's me. I'm not reliable or liable for anybody you meet. Whoever you meet is on you, boo. We have some mishaps, but I don't worry about the past. I'm all about the present, and we in the present right now. So let's start. Let's start. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Um, let's try. Let's see what this is. Hello? Hello? I can't hear you, baby. We can't hear you, sweetheart. Okay, get it together, and then we'll come back to you. But I got people waiting, so you gotta have it together. Hello?
Hey, Kendra.
Hey, girl. What's
Oh,
your
you
name,
are so
baby?
gorgeous. You are so gorgeous. I just have to say that. I love you.
I love you back, boo. What's your name, honey?
Valentina.
Valentina. Okay, where you
Yeah.
calling me from?
I am in Georgia.
Georgia. What do you do for a living?
I am a clinical laboratory scientist. So I work in
Sci-
the lab.
Okay, you have any children?
I have two.
How old are your kids?
My oldest will be 14 next month, and my youngest is 10.
10. Both by the same man?
Interesting.
Yes.
Have you ever been married?
No.
No. Okay. Oh, your
Okay.
light just went out. Oh, there
Sorry.
you go. What's your zodiac? Oh, how old are you?
34.
34. And what's your zodiac sign?
I am Aquarius.
Aquarius. Let's do it. Valentina. That's interesting. I never heard that before. Valentina, Georgia, scientist, two kids, 14 and 10. And she's an Aquarius, 34 years old. What kind of man you looking for, baby?
So I have my notes here.
Got a
I
notes. I love when
am
you come with a notebook.
No, because I've been waiting on my husband for a while, so I know exactly what I want.
That's
I
interesting.
want someone that is wanting marriage, fun, ambitious, understands entrepreneurship, because I do have a business as well, or desires to understand it. That's family
Ugh,
oriented,
come
puts
back.
God first, someone that is mentally, emotionally, and financially stable, supportive, which I really want someone that when I have my bad days, that's gonna encourage me, just as I would do him. Um, Someone that is going to be a leader, a great personality, funny, doesn't have to take life too serious, a foodie because I love food. Um, Great temperament, loyal, honest, a good communicator, someone who is just as much into me as I will be into them.
Okay. Real quick, you said you want someone that's ready to get married. Why didn't you
Chris says, here we go. Yeah. As in, she's waiting on a guy with all that. Right. You know what? And she listed a lot of things that are, how do you say this? Cliche. How much of that is actual? It'd be interesting to see if anything she says in the future contradicts all the stuff that she just listed. Oftentimes, when women give these long lists, I think that it may be a predicator to the fact that they don't know what they want, so they just list a bunch of good qualities that they think they think would be good to have in a man, not realizing what comes with that. Life is about choices and trade-offs, people. So you want a man who's got all that. Okay, well, what's the trade-off? What does he get in return? But let's keep going.
marry the man you have two kids by?
Great question.
We were on two different pages.
What does that mean?
To me, the relationship ran its course. After so much stuff has transpired in a relationship, sometimes it never goes back to what you wished it to be or thought it would be. So,
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
Translation, she picked the wrong guy. So it's like I always tell you guys when people start coming, because this goes for when guys start complaining about stuff too, about relationships and the opposite gender. When people start complaining about their past relationships, okay, well, who vetted that person for you? This is what I would want to know about the father of her kids. If y'all are going in two different directions, then how did y'all end up spending enough time or get far enough down the relationship road that you got two kids by this man? Why wasn't marriage a requirement then? For those of you that are new here, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that a lot of these relationship conversations, they they always can boil down to four social constructs: the way we raise our kids, the vetting process is broken, concept of marriage needs to be updated, and the fourth one is finances. We don't spend a lot of time talking about finances just because the first three are they're intertwined, and if we can't work out the first three, at least in the form of temporary solutions, the fourth one wouldn't matter anyway. But to speak about this, okay, well, you were with this guy and you had two kids by him, but yet you guys weren't on the same page. Well, how in the world do you end up in a relationship long enough with a man? Because they were together they had to be at least 4 years. So why are you with a man for that long, but y'all are going in different directions? Who's vetting the guy for you? She's 34 now. That was in her early 20s. If I had to guess, I would probably say it's nobody. You know. But let's keep going.
Deal breakers are someone that's controlling, a bad attitude, selfish, explosive temper, easily angered, still in their whole phase, comfortable with being complacent, insecure, unmotivated, bad teeth, bad hygiene.
You know, I just find it interesting when women say a man is still in his whole phase, um, as if, you know, attracting sexual attention from women is just easy. So, like, what does that mean when a man is in his whole phase? Has she been dealing with a 1% guy who has a lot of options? Is that what it is? That's who she's looking to marry? And all these guys who are, at the top of the food chain in the dating market, they're not trying to be monogamous, and they don't want commitment. But is that what's going on here? That's who she's attracted to. That's who she wants to marry. I also find it interesting that, the guy being controlling is a deal breaker. I think at some point we have to start asking women, what's the difference between him being controlling and him being a leader? I don't think we're going to get a straight answer, but it's an interesting question though, right?
Bad teeth, bad hygiene. Okay. Does he have to look a certain way?
Um, Not in particular. Like, as long as he's a decent looking man, like that's not a thing for me. I just want someone that's gonna treat me right.
Okay. Does he gotta make a certain amount of money?
Okay. Chris, you can't send a super chat. I don't know why. Okay. Super chats, I guess, are not available for some reason. I'll figure it out after the stream. So, hey, I appreciate the effort though, brother. Next time.
Um, I would say 75,000.
Okay. Do you want more kids?
No.
Oh, stop the show. AP, the accountability partner, has come through. Brother, I appreciate you stopping through, man. Shout out to you. I caught you guys on stream the other night, too. Great show.
No. So you don't want more kids. So that means he has to have kids already.
Yes.
Okay. What's the age range you want to date?
So I'm 34, so I'd like to date a little older, maybe 39 to 55.
Okay. All right, boo. Let's do the Kendra
All right.
They'll be working with y'all. I could say, okay, Like you're in great shape.
Yeah, I'm petite.
He's like, oh, she's petite. So Valentina is her name. Georgia. Do you want the guy to be in Georgia?
Preferably not.
Oh, oh no. So you'll relocate.
I will.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
She's a scientist. Aquarius, 34, 2 kids. When was your last relationship?
My last relationship was a few months ago. And that ended because when we initially got together, he knew I didn't want any more kids, and he said he didn't want kids, and then he changed his mind. And it's an absolute no for me. I'm not having any more kids.
That's an absolute no for you. Child, that's an absolute no. Okay. So he has to really already have his kids if that's what his desire is.
Yes.
Okay. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
I'll choose not to answer that question.
Okay.
Good job. Don't
Why do
answer
you think
that,
you're
ladies.
single?
I think I am single because I have a I'll figure it out or I'll do it myself type of mindset. I don't allow people to help me. And I know
Uh
that
huh.
that is considered like a trauma response or whatever. But it's just hyper independence.
Yeah.
Hyper independence. Okay.
Mhm.
For those of you who don't know or you're unaware, when women talk about hyper independence, what they're really saying is that I've been raised to be a soldier in the gender war. Translation: I don't trust men. So instead of asking for a man to asking for a man to help, I'd rather just know I don't trust that they're actually going to be able to help me, and I don't want to get burned by them or turned down. So yeah, that's all that means. And AP says super chat is set to members only. Okay, that's new to me. I haven't changed that, but you know what? I'll try and figure it out. If I get it this stream, great. If not, then like I said, I appreciate the effort, guys. Let's go ahead and let's keep going.
Are you willing to work on that?
I am. I actually am. I go to therapy and stuff. I think everybody should do therapy. So I go to therapy and try to work through what I find are flaws or things that were brought up to me from other people.
So what are your 3 flaws?
Procrastinating is one. I would say placing my values and expectations on other people. So me expecting them to be the type of person I am. Or, I get really traumatized, I would say, like when someone does something to me that I know I would absolutely never do to them or say something to them that I know I absolutely wouldn't do to them. But that is my fault because I can't place my values and expectations on other people. And the last one, I would say, like I said before, the hyper independence.
Okay. And why would a guy be lucky to be with you, boo?
Ooh, girl. Because I am ambitious. I'm an encourager. I'm a wife. I know I'm a wife. Um, you know, Everything that a wife is supposed to do for her man, that's what I do. I'll have the dinner on the table, baby. When he's coming home, it's gonna be hot on the table, honey. His bath will be ran, them clothes gonna be washed, the house will be kept. But more importantly, like I said before, I've been preparing for my husband for a while. I pray for my husband every day. So he'll have a prayerful wife, someone that when he's going through hard times, someone that he can lean on. Because I think a lot of times men take on this role that they can't be vulnerable with us. And that's not true. You're supposed to be able to be vulnerable with your person. That is the one person that they should be able to be vulnerable with. And I think society has just created an environment for them to not feel comfortable being in that space. So yeah, but yeah, that's all.
I got you. I want to just ask you this. I would like to, because I think I've seen it a couple times in the comments, and I just want to get your response to it because I love your answer about you being a wife. this is not a requirement from all men. It's not a
Mhm.
requirement. So your husband probably will obviously have to fit outside of this. But some will say, well, men are looking for wives, but they also want to have a baby with
Mhm.
their wife. And I have seen a couple of men, like a lot of them, not all, but lately the men that you guys describe as in character, they want to have children. So, what would you say to that? Like, okay, you're a
That's a
wife, but
good
you
point.
don't want to have a baby by your husband.
That's a good point.
I don't think it's in particular that don't want to have one with my husband. I was a mom at 20. I'm 34.
That's what she said.
I didn't get that opportunity that most people had in their younger years to travel and explore and live life. I was a mom young. So I kind of want to do that with my husband. That's why I would prefer someone that does have kids, and doesn't want any more kids, because at this point, I have a 14-year-old and almost 11-year-old. They're pretty much independent. So I want to travel. I want to make
Uh
those
huh.
memories with my husband. And to be honest, at 34, I only have one more year before I'm considered a high risk pregnancy. So
That's
I
true too.
don't think that that would be logical, because 1 year, if I meet someone now, you're saying dating for a minimum of a year to 2 years before you get engaged. Engaged by the time we get married, I'll be almost 40.
Okay. I'm happy you responded. Thank you so much.
You're
All
welcome.
right, let's do it, boo. Valentina. Oh, what was your age range? You're 34. What's the age range?
39 to 54, 55.
You go to 55.
Yes.
Okay, so 34 to 55. Um, and how can the guy reach out to you?
You can reach out to me on Instagram. My handle is growth underscore and underscore prosperity 89.
Prosperity 89.
Okay. So, Chris is making an interesting point. I've noticed our community being complacent at your job, meaning be on your job for 15 years plus is a bad thing. If you have a skilled trade or benefits, how is that a bad thing? It's not. Remember, I told you that these relationship talks, all these conversations boil down to a basic four topics, right? Um, how what Chris is talking about actually relates to this woman here, and she said some things that are alarming. And there was some. I mean, they're not deal breakers, but I think that if this is your type of woman, there's some things that you need to be aware of. So, actually, did she give an Instagram? Guys, I might have missed her Instagram. If do we need to? Do we need to go back for a second?
54, 55.
You go to 55.
Yes.
Okay, so 34 to 55. And how can the guy reach out to you?
You can reach out to me on Instagram. My handle is growth underscore and underscore prosperity 89.
Prosperity 89. Let's do it, Valentina. That's interesting. I've never heard that name before.
Thank you.
Georgia, what?
Okay, Instagram's wasted time is set to private, so I don't know why women give that if you can't even if they're gonna set it to private, kind of defeats the purpose. But moving right along, like I said, there were some things that came up when she was talking that I think that if this is the type of woman you're looking for, I think you need to be aware of. But let's go through the list, because remember we've got 6 categories here. So, well, we already know she has kids. She's got 2 kids. 14 and 10. And we're going to come back to that because I think there's more there than she's letting on, and it deserves to be discussed. So is she submissive? No. No. Usually Kendra's questions don't give you any kind of information about a woman's level of submissiveness. Now, she talked about those things about, dinner's on the table and your bath is drawn. You know what? this ties into something else too. So we're going to come back to, is she cooperative? That's going to be tough to say. Because the questions don't get very specific about her level of cooperation. Again, she talked about those things that most men want to hear, which makes me question that, because you're on a dating show, and then if you're doing all that, you got dinner on the table and everything. Did the child's father get that stuff? And you guys still aren't together, and he's not an option. So something else is going on there. Is she friendly? Well, I mean, usually this is where a social media page would come in handy, because then you get to see her interact with the outside world, and not just this 10-minute interview. But from the 10-minute interview, she appears to be friendly. I mean, she's smiling, which is better than some of these other women that I've seen. Yeah. So, is she feminine? Yeah, I think so. She came on here. She's presentable, right? She didn't come on here in her pajamas. And it looks like she's ready to be on camera, which says a lot. And she is in shape. She's not obese. So, we've got she's not obese. She's feminine. Yeah. The things that stood out to me, though, when she talked about the guy, she listed like a bunch of attributes. And most specifically, well, I already brought it up. She says she wants a leader, but then I think we need to start asking women, when women say they want a leader, what's the difference between the guy being a leader and him being controlling? I don't know. I think it's worth a question to ask, though. The other thing that stood out to me is that when she said she lives in Georgia, and Kendra asked her, does he have to be in Georgia? She said no. So there are millions of guys in Georgia, millions of people, and not one of them you'd actually prefer a long distance relationship. But here's the other kicker. She said she will be willing to relocate. But look at the job that she listed, though. She's a lab scientist. And she didn't say she lives in Atlanta, which is a major metropolitan area. So where exactly would her job allow her to move to? Chris sends a super chat works, support the show. Appreciate you, Chris. Let's see. Chris, she's pretty. Yeah, she is attractive. Accountability partner says she's dateable. She's not court worthy, from this interview. Yeah. And the other thing that I took note of is that when Kendra asked her about why should a guy pick her, or why would he, what would benefit him from being with her, from marrying her, because that's what we're here to talk about, marriage. She's ambitious and she's encouraging. So this is where the rubber meets the road, because she can have all of, the 6 categories: fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless. These things here, this ambition and this, she gives encouragement. Plus, she doesn't trust men. Hyper independence. So no, she's not cooperative because she's hyper independent. The minute you're not doing something that she wants you to do, she's going off on her own, which makes you wonder, how submissive is she then? I mean, these are her words, not mine. But when you have someone who's ambitious and, who is there to encourage you, you know what I think about? Those are the qualities that I would want in a leader, right? Think about it at your job. You want your boss to be like that, right? Encouraging, helping you out, and training you. But those are the things that she listed. I don't know how I missed this when she said it. This woman has very little knowledge of the male experience. I think what she did was listed the things that she's attracted to and said that, well, the guy should be attracted to those too. Chris says, I think a man making over 100K could probably get a child from her. You know what? That may or may not be true just because I think she's done with kids. I think that because the way she talked about it, she's glad that her kids are old enough that she doesn't have to follow behind them. I think that this is a woman who is she fell for the wrong guy and thought that her having a baby meant that they were going to get married. And again, this is a woman, who vetted that man for you? Because I got to put the dad hat on here and say, okay, why are you having baby number 2 by this guy? Why are you still messing with this guy? You already had one child with him and y'all not married. If you're my daughter and you're telling me you want to get married and you finna have a baby by this man and there's no ring, like what? Who vetted that man for you? That's all I got. Because these things aren't adding up. But now you got 2 kids and you want a husband to travel with. Okay, that's cool. The one benefit to her saying that is that the age range that she's willing to date, 55, 50 and up. Most men in their 50s, they're not trying to have kids anymore. They got their kids already. So I think that, she doesn't want a family. That changes things. It's not necessarily that, what do you call this? There's a specific term for this. She's not necessarily looking for a husband. She's just looking for a companionship to somebody to make it to the end of life with. And like I said, you can find that in the age range that she's talking about. I mean, you date guys 50 and up. I mean, they're not looking to marry you. And they're more likely to have disposable income to do the things that she's looking to do. Because let's face it, if she's a scientist, so more than likely she's a higher earner. With women who are higher earners, if you're a higher earner, ladies, and you're looking to get married for the purpose of family, I think you should consider being the breadwinner. You have to be okay with that. It doesn't make you head of the household. It doesn't make you the leader. But it's something to think about, though, because most men are not going to make what you make if you're a higher earner. And the guys that do make that, I mean, come on, they're not really looking for you. So it's something to consider. But it also means that if you're going to be the breadwinner, then you're going to have to look past a man's income and for some more tangible attributes that are going to make him a good husband. But again, I keep saying this, all these relationship talks boil down to the same topics. That means you need a man who is a male family member who can vet a guy for you, because women outside of income, they very rarely are able to pick the right man for marriage, or a man who's husband material. But let's see. The accountability partner says she's dateable, but she's not quote worthy from this interview. Yeah, I agree. Chris says this is the one time I would love to see her Instagram. You know what? I'm starting to wonder if her Instagram has anything on it. Just because you got 2 kids and you're a scientist. I mean, how much time do you think she has outside of working kids? Just being honest there. But we're going to have to go ahead and move on because because here's the thing. Do I think she's marriageable? No. Here's why. Most men are not going to measure up for her, and she's got trust issues. But the biggest one is that most marriage-minded men are looking to build a family. They want kids. So if you're not interested in having kids, that takes a big reason for marriage away from the guy. Because again, there's a lot of risk that comes with marriage. We know that, right? But the benefit is that you're going to raise a family and extend your legacy beyond your own lifetime. With that off the table, though, most men is, yeah, like I said, she gets in that upper age group. Yeah, but then again, single men in that age group, they're not necessarily looking for marriage. I mean, come on. But we got to move on because we spent way too much time on this woman. And yeah, let's keep going.
Georgia scientist, 2 kids, 14 and 10. She's
Need to
34 and
move
Aquarius.
on to the next
And let's see
one.
how it goes. Keep me posted, boo.
I will. Thank you.
Fine. Let's see who this is. Hello?
Hey, Kendra.
Are you ready?
Right,
Yes,
Chris.
ma'am, I'm ready. I'm sorry, I was in the living room. I'm getting in some better light.
Hi. This your first time here?
Yes.
That's a nose ring?
Yes, it is a nose ring.
What's your name, baby?
Naomi.
Naomi, where you calling me from?
I'm calling from Houston, but I'm originally from Chicago.
Where do you live?
In Houston, Texas.
Okay. You just saw my trade. I think he's in Houston. We'll leave it at okay.
Not interested.
How old are you, Naomi?
Wow. Okay.
I'm 24.
24. What you do for a living?
I work at the hospital, RN.
RN? Do you have any children?
No.
No kids. What's your zodiac sign?
Pisces.
Pisces. You say you're from Chicago.
Yes.
So this is Naomi from Chicago but lives in Houston, 24, Pisces. There's an RN, no kids. What kind of man you looking for, boo?
I'm looking for someone who loves God first and foremost because I'm recently getting back into church and my spirituality. So first and foremost, he has to serve God. He has to be established, have to have some type of career, has to have something going for his.
It seems to be a running thing on Kendra's show. Women come on here and they talk about, the man who puts God first. And I'm just saying, she's talking about she recently got back into church. Okay, then why isn't the pastor helping you find a husband? Why are you coming on a dating show on YouTube? That's not in the Bible. So, it makes you wonder if, I don't know. I don't want to have a conversation about her religious convictions. And I see what you said there, AP. Yeah, we got to move on, though. We got to move on. But yeah, the religious convictions, man, it's like women will get on here and talk about God fearing and, man in church and all this other stuff. But then, okay, but why is the pastor not helping you find a husband? Singles ministry is a real thing. So, yeah, we're gonna have a conversation about man, y'all in the chat, man, y'all a trip, boy. All right, let's keep going.
Itself. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Simple.
Okay.
Mm.
What are your deal breakers?
Ooh, liars. I don't like liars. And I'm gonna just be very honest. I don't do baby mamas. So if you got kids, I'm not really interested in that at all. Yeah, no.
No. So no kids.
No kids.
Okay. All right. Does he have to look a certain way?
No, he really doesn't. Just make sure that you take care of yourself as far as like hygiene wise. Yeah. Just don't stink. Smell good. Yeah.
Okay.
What about money? Does he have to make a certain amount of money?
Yes, I would say like around 75,000.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. Let's see. Where did she say she lived at? Because we're gonna do some research here, and I need to. We need average income in Houston, Texas for men. Now, she wants a man making over 70. The average man makes 35. So you want a man who's making double what the average man makes. And nose ring, fake lashes. Yeah, Chris is right. She's a RN. She's a higher earner. Yeah, I get it. And she's a higher earner at 24. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's impressive. You know, you're an RN at 24. I wonder how long she's been doing that. But the point is that, well, you know what? Let's just keep going. What is with these women who find men with hygiene issues in the dating market? AP says, the more she talk, the more questions, or she proves my statements true.
75K. What's the age range, Naomi? You're 24.
I would say 23 to 35.
23 to 35. All right, let's do the Kendra Cam.
I don't know how I'm finna sit this phone up.
Y'all keep in mind, she says she wants a man 23 to 35. The average man makes, let's pull that up again. The average man makes 35,000. Now, what's missing from this data, because this comes from the U.S. Census, right? A lot of times, what women never think about is the fact that it takes time to build a career, decades most time. So when she's talking about a man who's 23, how many 23-year-olds you think are making not even 75? Let's say 50. That's a small percentage. Small. Most guys at 25 don't even have a career yet. So, again, what percentage of men are we talking about here? Even when you get up to 35, because according to the U.S. Census, again, the average man is making 35,000. So when he gets, when you're dealing with the age of men who are 30 and up, they're still not clocked. That's still not. Most men who are making 75,000 or more in Houston are over the age, or outside of the age group that she's talking about. But let's keep going, though. Let's keep going.
Because I'm in the process of moving, and I'm moving into a home, so I don't know how I'm gonna set this up. And now look, before y'all get on here.
Yet another talking point is that, we need to start asking, why is it that single women want to buy a house? Like, what's the advantage of that? I seriously don't know. So for those of you that don't know, I spent 5 years working in financial services as a licensed coach. And a lot of women, I have to talk them out of, okay, hey, home ownership, that's cool when you got a family because you got people that can fill up those rooms. But you're talking about buying a 5-bedroom house and it's just you. Like, what for what reason? Most of the time you get an answer about, I don't want to build generational wealth. There's a bunch of other ways to do that besides making a purchase that you're going to be paying back for the next 15 plus years of your life. Not to mention if something breaks, but, you know what? This is another prime example of the way we raise our kids is that, I'm not even going to get into that. Let's keep going.
Talking crazy. I got titties. I'm telling y'all now, they big. So I know how the cousins be in the comments trying to be funny. I don't even care. But let me hurry up and do this. I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to set it up, child.
Tattoos too. Okay.
Is it set up okay?
Okay.
I got on.
See,
Yeah, I got
do
on.
you have on a bra?
I don't know.
Why don't you have on a bra?
No, because I was pretty much packing comfortable. No, I didn't put on a bra.
I mean, that's fine, and I understand, but I think that you do know my show is like it's more than going out the house because you're gonna be in everybody's house. So I think what happens is I'm not saying you gotta be coming down here like dressed down to the ground, but the cousins is gonna just say you can have a big chest, but they're gonna say where you bra at.
Right, yeah, and that makes sense, and it's okay for them to feel that way and think that way. It's okay. It doesn't bother me. Yeah, it doesn't bother me, and I'm just being honest.
Okay. Well, let's keep going. Naomi, when was your last relationship?
Oh, last year.
Last year. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When was the last time you was intimate with someone?
No, you're fine. Last month.
Okay. Is that person an option?
It was the person that I was dating from last year. No, ma'am.
Last year you were dating. Were y'all just dating or y'all were in a relationship?
We were in a relationship, and I don't do like people who are like physically like aggressive. I don't play those games. So it was just one of those things. And you know how you go on breaks with people, you try to give people the benefit of the doubt. You think they can change, and it just wasn't that. So.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. I'm sorry. I'm getting tired. I've been up all day, so
I can tell.
Please forgive me. I apologize. So what are 3 flaws you have to work on?
Ooh, I'm independent. I've been that way since I was a child. Growing up in Chicago, you know, the lifestyle you got to kind of create for yourself. Being independent.
Boy, here we go again.
I'm not used to help, so I don't really like when people try to come and direct stuff in my life, and that is something I'm working on. I'm fully well aware of it. Another one is sometimes I'll overthink a situation or overanalyze it. And then I probably talk too much. Those are definitely 3. Yeah. Oh. The biggest.
And say it again, honey?
I said those are the biggest ones.
Well, why do you think you're single?
I really haven't put myself out there since I've been in Houston. I've been trying to establish more so of a career for myself, build a life for myself. So I don't really go out to places. You know, they say, oh, well, you got to get out and go. Houston's big. You got to go here and go there. I haven't really did that yet. So
hiding behind
I believe that's why.
Okay. And when you moved to Houston, when?
About almost 3 years ago.
Okay. And why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
Okay.
I just think I'm a laid back woman. I'm not with the drama. I believe that I'm wifey material. I used to think that when I was younger, but down the line, years later, going through stuff, learning experiences, I believe I'm a wife. I believe I can bring a lot to the table. We can grow together. We can pray together. And
Has she said anything yet? Why the guy would be lucky to be with her? Because she's a wife. But what does that mean? Wife to who? What makes you a wife? She hasn't said anything yet.
We can establish a life. So
you can establish a life. This is Naomi, Houston, Texas, 24 Pisces, hospital, RN, and no kids.
Yes.
All right, sweetie. How could the guy reach out to you?
Instagram is Indigenous Naomi, but Naomi is spelled Naomi. And my Facebook is Naomi, Nayomi. Last name is Mason, Mason.
Mason. Okay. And there you have it. All right, boo. Well, you keep me posted how it goes.
Thank you so much, Kendra.
Hi.
Yet another woman with a private account on Instagram. So, is she marriage material? Man, well, she don't have any kids, so there's that. I mean, yeah. Accountability partner says, how can y'all grow together when you're already buying the house? You know what? I don't think she actually wants to grow with a man. Because again, she want a man making double what the average man makes. She doesn't want to grow with a man. She wants one fully built. So that says that there is no cooperation there. She's not willing to work with you. Is she submissive? I mean, we didn't hear anything that would make me think otherwise. So I don't see that happening. Is she friendly? 3 years and no. I think she might be married to her job. You know what? I might be wrong about that. But let's finish up. Is she feminine? No way of knowing because we don't have access to her social media. She smiled a lot in this interaction, so I guess. And is she obese? Okay, so moving along here. You know what? You and I don't think she's marriage material, but I don't think she's looking to get married. Was there any point in this interview where she mentioned anything about a long-term relationship, let alone a marriage? I guess the real question we should be asking is she the fun time girl? Fake lashes, nose ring, tattoos. She come on a dating show in nighttime wear. Doesn't talk about, wanting a long-term relationship. I mean, she talked about the fact that she just got back into church. But again, if you marriage minded and you're a member of the congregation, church provides you with options to go and seek a husband, singles ministry, or even talking to the pastor about having him vet the men that you're with. But we didn't hear about any of that, did we? So, is she the fun time girl? Is that what's going on here? I don't know. I don't want to say because fun time girls end up with the tragic life later on, and she's 24. So, yeah. Accountability partner says, I bet she got a weed man on speed dial. You know what, man? Man, okay, we got to move on because, man. Chris says, most nurses are married to their job. The money is too good. Like I said, man, if ladies, if you are a nurse or you're a higher earner, consider being the breadwinner. Now, this is, but I should mention because there is a caveat here. I'm not saying the guy needs to be broke. Okay. He needs to have a full-time job. I mean, come on, that's every adult. You need to have a full-time job. That's a given. But the thing there is that, again, you out here looking for, I think the accountability partner posted about this is that she doesn't qualify for what she's looking for. And most women who are higher earners and they want a man who's making more than them, they don't qualify for it because we as men look for different things. We don't care about your career or your money because it doesn't do anything for us. When you're married, that's a little different, right? Because you guys are supposed to be building together. But when you're dating, most women expect the guy to pay for the dates or any other expenses that come up. So if that's the case, how does your money benefit him? It doesn't. That's why he doesn't care. But again, this is where, again, who is the man that's vetting these guys for you? Because I get it, ladies, when you're a higher earner, it's scary to be out there because, women were not designed to share their resources with a man. I totally understand that there's a fear involved with that, and I get it. This is why you need someone there to vet these guys for you. best case scenario is your father. But I know, in our community, there are a lot of single parents, single moms, right, raising their kids. So what do you do about that when there is no father in the picture? Well, who's the patriarch in your family? That's who should be helping you. Because, when men are vetting other men, money is important, but it's not as important as character. Hey, you got a good job? Okay, that's great. You making good money? That's great. What's your character like? Because if you're going to treat my daughter like crap, I don't care. You ain't making enough money. There is no dollar amount that you could make to treat my daughter like that. That's not going to happen. So, what else you got? Again, if you're a woman and you're looking at these situations, a lot of times, I've said this in another video. A lot of times women put so much emphasis on what a man makes because they don't know what else to vet a man on. But guys, this is why I tell you need to lead with the dime: self-discipline, integrity, morals, and ethics. Right? Because a lot of ways, we get caught up on this hypergamy definition when, if you Google the definition for hypergamy, and, why don't we do that right now? Because I think a lot of times, it's been a while since I did this. Most people, they don't pay attention to stuff. And you just start using these words and throw them around here. But the definition is, let's take this off here. Yeah, okay. The action of marrying or forming a sexual relationship with a person of a superior sociological or educational background. How does that turn into he has to be rich? Sociological or educational? Today, sociological, at a point, there was a point where sociological meant income, but not in the age of social media. I mean, you can build an Instagram profile and get Instagram famous and be broke. But the point is that when you lead with the dime, self-discipline, integrity, morals, and ethics, women are hypergamous. They want to look up to you. Well, you just gave this woman, when you outrank her in those 4 categories, now she has 4 things to look up to you for. So this goes back to this with this young lady here, Naomi. This is why I say that if you're a higher earner, ladies, consider being the breadwinner. You just need to find a man who has more self-discipline, integrity, morals, and ethics than you to help balance the equation, or balance the fact that he doesn't make as much as you. And the reality is because there's only so many resources out there, he may never make as much as you. You have to be okay with that. I mean, it's again, if you want to get married, I mean, something to consider. But we need to move on, because that one was, that didn't take that long to go through that one. But I think that the message that we need to, let's see. Nah, bro, there is a certain caliber of woman that frequents the places I do. I don't doubt that. But those women are not 24. They're not. So let's keep going.
Not gonna stress her the fuck out.
Whoa, what did we jump into?
I think y'all need to start having conversations with yourself. Let's keep going, child. Let's keep going. Let's see what's over here.
Hey, I was waiting. I said it too. I said, damn it, Kendra gonna pick me. I've been waiting for a whole year. Hey, I'm on Kendra G, y'all. Hello? I'm on Kendra G. Don't tell me to be quiet. Yeah.
What's she
Hey, how you
talking
doing?
to?
About time, yeah.
Hello?
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Yes. All right, what's your name, baby? Your name is Unique?
No, it's Regina.
Regina.
Yes, ma'am.
Regina. Where you calling me from?
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
In our...
Hold on. Stop the show. We have a super chat from SB Live. Security boss in the building. I've been following this lady for a minute. Shout out to Security Boss. Her and Mr. Boss too. Man, That's definitely. Yeah, I'm tongue tied, y'all. I've had a celebrity come through my live. Thank you for the super chat. All right, we're gonna get back to it. Let's go.
Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Yep, Ann Arbor, ANNARBOR.
How old are you,
I'll go
baby?
here. I'm 54.
Okay, hold on. Chris says we got some super chats in here. Let's see. Accountability partner says, salute to my brother and the grind. Much respect. I appreciate that, man. And did I miss any other super chats? Chris says super chat works. Support the show. I appreciate that. Okay, I think those are all the super chats. So let's keep it going. This lady says she is 54, right? If I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's go.
54.
Yes, ma'am.
54, unique. What do you do again for a living, honey?
I do photography. So that's my
Oh, okay. Unique photos. You should
Do
definitely.
you have any kids?
I have 6.
Kids, okay.
I have 4 boys and 2 girls. 2 different dads.
You said you're 54?
You got 6 kids. 6 kids. 6 kids. And you're I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank right now. It's like you out here dating for what? Like, what? 6 kids. AP accountability partner says they're probably grown. You know what? You might be right, because there is an exception to the childless attribute. If you're older women who are, their kids are grown, they again qualify because the man's not helping raise grown kids most of the time. So that might be true. They probably are grown.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. You look really good.
Thank you.
I totally missed that because I'm just writing down the number.
Hey, I said.
Then when you said, I was like, oh, you look good. Okay, how old are your kids?
They So I got Let me see. 37, 33.
Yep. Okay.
28, 27, 26, and 21.
AP, you called it, man.
33, 28, 27, 26,
Makes
21.
Sense.
Yes. 2 different dads.
How many?
Girls, 2. My girls got their dad. My boys got their dad.
Okay. Have you ever been married?
No.
Never married?
Man.
Never married.
Why didn't you marry any of the men you had children by?
Well, it's only been 2 guys, but
Lord
still.
Jesus, because I don't know. They were okay.
Let me ask you, did you ever want to get married?
I never really wanted to get married.
Oh, okay. All
but
right.
They were, both of my kids' dad, both the fathers are excellent. We like best friends. So we are like best friends. Anything I need, they help, the whole 9 yards. We're still cool. I don't know why I didn't get married.
Well, you just said you didn't want to get married, so that's not a bad thing.
I mean, yeah, I really didn't. It's like,
okay. Do you want to get married now?
It's an option.
Why is it an option now?
Because my kids are grown. So all of my kids are grown. So this is the thing. When I had my first 2.
Wait. Slow down. Because this is not computing here. So now that the kids are grown, now marriage is an option. Does she not realize that men look at that the opposite? Like marriage-minded men, we want family. Well, she already got the family, and now you want the marriage. Again, it makes you wonder, were her parents married? Again, I keep talking about, all these relationship conversations boil down to just 4 topics. And the first one is, the way we raise our kids. Do y'all think that she was raised to value marriage? I don't think so. because there that's yeah. You know what? Let's just keep going. Accountability partners is former 304. I don't know if you could be a former. I don't know if she's a former 304 because you got that many kids. Like, when do you have free time? Especially if she's a photographer. So, as somebody who used to be a photographer, you don't have spare time, and then you talking about kids, and it's like that's I think that we're looking at a woman who was or may still be strong and independent. Don't need no man. I think that's what we're looking at. Between work and raising these kids, that's like, because you got to remember, it's 6 of them. And at one point, because of their ages, you had at least 5 of them in the house. And she's working 50 hours a week. Hopefully. Because the guy could have been there. The guys could have been there helping out. But still, I don't think she was a former 304. I just think she just doesn't. I think she's a soldier in the gender war. She was raised to be one. So she does not trust men. She does not value marriage, which makes you wonder how much does she value men in particular as far as family is concerned. That's questionable because, again, you've got that many kids. You can't tell. I got 2 kids and it's a handful, and I'm married. I couldn't imagine not being married, and you got. Okay. Okay.
Are girls, right? So once I left their dad and came to Michigan, I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So when I came to Michigan, that's when I started dating this other guy, which is my boy's dad. So I definitely didn't want to marry him because I had another father. You understand what I'm saying? So I was like, I don't want him to be over my kids as far as like, so this is what I'm saying. So if I marry this guy, right, the second guy, he's going to have more say than my children because they say that the spouse comes before everybody. So my thing was, I don't know if that's far-fetched or whatever, but this was my thinking. And it could be far-fetched to a lot of people. So what I'm saying is, no man is coming before my kids. That's just how that goes. And that's how it's been my whole life. So now that I'm 21, now my youngest one is 21, I could do it. But when they were like younger, I was like, I'm not. I want my kids to come first. So if I would.
Translation, well, wait a minute. Let's back up here for a second, because I've said this before. The way we raise our kids makes you wonder if, again, was she raised to value marriage? Because you could make I get the argument, right? Man, I just got something in my eye, but we're going to fight through this. I get the argument that you don't want to put a man before your kids. Then why have the first child outside of a marriage? Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Why keep going down that road? Because every time you add a child to that dynamic, you devalue the man. Because you're not going to put a man in front, and I'm talking about men in general. You're not going to put a man in front of your kids. Well, if you keep having more kids, then what does that say about the guys that you're with? This episode has become more about, or this interview has become more about, building a community and finding out that this woman is marriageable. I guess because she answered the question. She's not really looking to get married. So, yeah, this is a tough one to get through, just because so much of what she was raised to believe doesn't match up with rebuilding our community. This country was built on the back of nuclear families. But this is a woman who is not interested in doing that. So does that mean that she's anti? You know what? Never. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's keep moving because I don't. You know, these things will be on the internet, and then this woman is. Man, hey, P, man, you can't say that, man. I'm not even gonna read what you said, man. Come on, man. bro, it's, bro. Man, come on, man. Y'all, yeah, y'all, we gotta move on, man. Y'all tripping.
Was to die, I wanted to know that my kids would be able to make the choices. Somebody said you can get a living will. Yeah, I very well could, but what you got a spouse there, I don't know how that goes if I was deceased. So that was my main thing, that I didn't get married to my boy's father, which he did propose to me, but I was like, nah, because I don't know how you gonna do it if something happened to me with my girl. So even though their dad was
Wait,
stepping in.
what?
So I guess maybe I was making excuses. A lot of people say that I was scared of commitment.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that?
Dad said I was scared of commitment, but I'm not. I just had my little reasonings, and they might have been kind of wild or far-fetched, but that was just my little thing. So I could get married. I am wife material, because first I said, no, I'm not wife material.
No, you're not.
Not to suggest that I'm like promiscuous or just out here. It's just that I travel a lot. That's one thing. And then I like my kids and my grandkids to come first. So if I'm with a man and I get married and my grandbaby call me, I'm going. I don't care what the problem is. You see what I'm saying? So that's just how that goes. My parents are dead, both. So
you're a wife, but your kids are more important than your husband. Again, are we raising our daughters to value men? This is a prime example of no. They're good enough for her to have sex and have a baby by, but to be her husband? Nah, I don't know about all that. I got all these other excuses about how's he going to treat my kids and everything else. If you got married before you had kids, would that even be an issue right now? Did I just say that out loud? Let me press the play button and keep going.
They can't come first. So it's like my children and my grandchildren are going to come before any man. That's just how it goes. So if anybody marries me, if I get married, I want the man to know out here, my kids and grandkids still going to come first. So that's just how that's going.
So how would that make you wifey material if you're going to tell your husband he's still not going to be first?
Oh, because I can do
she
everything
actually said
that a
it.
wife.
Oh my God. Thank you, Kendra. Thank you. She probably never going to see this, but thank you. It's not just me that sit here and heard that, because that's a bunch of BS. So it's not just guys that think like that. You know what? I've said this before. I think hosting this dating show has given Kendra some newfound knowledge of the male experience, because she's talked to so many different men throughout the history of this show, because I think it's been on for a couple of years at this point, is that you start to see both sides of the argument, which the average woman just has no knowledge of, because we're not raising them to. So we got to do a better job of raising our kids to work in cooperation with the opposite gender. And I think Kendra is starting to question a lot of things. And AP, man. Yeah. So, but yeah, what was I saying? Kendra, and I'm glad that we have a woman who is actually asking these questions. This is why I like Security Boss Channel, because you have an actual wife, an elder in our community, who is actually talking about relationships. And, I think Kendra is on her way to that point. Will she ever get there? I have no idea, because there's some other questionable behaviors from her. But the point is that women have to start asking other women these questions and bringing this stuff up. It's the only way you're ever going to defeat the sister code, and we can't rebuild a community without doing that. Because the only thing the sister code is good for, really, is perpetuating the gender war. So when women start asking questions like this and holding other women accountable, now we can start having some actual conversations, high-level conversations that
can do or would do as far as
So what
cater
is
to
wife?
him.
Let's dissect this. What does wife material mean to you?
great
So I'm
question.
gonna cater whatever he wants me to do, like within reason. I'm not doing nothing crazy, but so I'm gonna make sure that the house is taken care of. I'm gonna work, so I'm not a type of person that's gonna just sit back and take care of a house or be like a housewife. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna bring to the table as well, and I'm gonna help if he needs help. I'm gonna help him. I'm gonna cook whatever he wants me really to do. So this is another thing with me. If he was to fall ill, I got his back. If he came to be in combat.
But didn't she say the kids come first and the grandkids? So how much of your back is she actually watching? Because if the kids call her, she says she's gone. I mean, I get. Let's keep going.
In the sexual area, I'm still gonna be with him. I'm not gonna run out and be like, oh, he can't do this, can't do that, and I'm just gonna leave. I'm going to stick with him. So when I say I do, I mean damn it, I do. Not like these other people. They say I do when they know they don't, they can't, they won't. You see what I'm saying? When I say I do, it's gonna be to death do us part.
But she's not looking to say it. So what's the point?
But if my grandbaby called me, then
there it is.
I'm gonna be like, hold on, because I gotta go do whatever she needs to be done. And then I'll be back with you. You know, that's how it goes. But I can be wifey material. That's just that.
No.
Because once I get married, it's going to be to death do us apart, and that's how it's going to be.
Until the grandkids call.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just jump. Do you have married friends?
Yes.
Do they fall in? Do they? Is their structure the way you kind of designed it?
Theirs or mine?
Well, you're not married. I'm talking about your married friends.
Oh, they do that.
Do you feel like their structure is designed by the way you just described it?
No, absolutely not. No.
And they're married.
They're married.
So maybe that would be an indication that maybe the way you're saying isn't the way.
It could be, but no. I'm saying is because I'm different. That's how that goes. But all the married friends, they do exactly like the traditional. Their spouse is going to come before the mother, the children.
When she says they're traditional, does that mean they got married before they had kids? How much longer is this? Oh, it keeps going. Fantastic.
Well, that's what I was trying to get at. So, yeah. All the married friends that I know, their family unit trumps everything. Now, this is where it does get challenging when I totally understand what you're saying. Like right. You have children and you have grandchildren that obviously are very important. They're your bloodline. So I don't think there's a pushback, but it's basically you want to find a man that is going to agree to come second to those people.
Exactly.
In your life. Exactly. So does that mean he could put you second to his kids too?
Yes, and that's what I want. So I'm looking for a man that's going to put his parents and his children first. Because if I'm with a man and his
So you want a man that's going to put his parents before you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Oh, definitely.
So you want to remix the roles of marriage.
I don't know if it's remix, but see, if my parents were still alive, for sure my mother. Oh, nobody's coming. I mean, absolutely nobody. If he gets mad, then he can go. That's how it is. And I would not allow him to put me first if his mother is still alive. It's not gonna happen. If I like a lot of people that's married, I see that they won't even let his mom get in the front if he picks her up. She gotta get in the back. Yeah, now, I'm steaming. I'm burning up. Like, why would you? I'm lost on that. If I got a husband and his mom, we pick her up, I'm definitely open the door, get in the back, or he can open the door for her. But I'm definitely. So
if you get married to your husband, he picks.
I've just noticed something interesting. You notice how when she's talking about, having special treatment for parents, if you notice, it's always a mom. It's never special treatment for the father. Again, do you guys think she was raised in a two-parent household?
Picks up his mother. You believe the mother belongs in the front seat.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not putting her in the back.
Okay.
That's just that's how I am, And so that's just how I am. So, and I don't know. I want him, and then if he got an ex-wife or a baby mother, I want them to be cordial, and I don't want a man that's gonna down talk the ex-wife, or the baby mother. The ex. I don't like that. That doesn't appease me. You can't come to me like, oh yeah, she did that and she did that. That's gonna turn me totally off. For the simple fact that if you doing this, first of all, you chose to have a kid with her. So she, at some point, she must have been good enough because you chose to have a kid with her. So don't come to me talking about, oh, she was this and she was that, and dogging her out, because I'm female liberated. I'm gonna stick with females. So he gonna have. Don't come to me with.
It's the same woman who the man was good enough to have a child with, but even though he proposed to her, she said no. Accountability partner says she's lost. Man, man, you ever go to the mall and go inside the shoe store? Because if it fits, yeah.
So in an argument, your husband, you will take the side of somebody else over your husband's side.
What you mean?
You said you're female liberated. So if your husband came to you and he was talking about a different woman, you are saying you would side with the woman before you side with your husband?
Yeah, if it's within reason. I mean, if she did something like outlandish, then I obviously can't take her side. But if he comes and say, oh yeah, that B did this and that B did that, and she ain't shit, all of that, no, that's not gonna make me that doesn't appease me. Because I don't want you to talk about her to me. Now he can talk about her to anybody else, but don't come to me and bash her.
Translation: I was raised to be a soldier in the gender war, and we need to keep the war going. This is why I don't trust men. Even if we did have a kid together, or 6 kids together in her case, I still don't trust you. This has gone on long enough. I don't want to hear anymore. And this woman keeps talking too. I don't want to hear anymore. I don't. Yeah, AP, yeah. This is, yeah, she's lost. And it's to the point where it's like, it's getting annoying. It's like, I don't like, I'm obviously married, right? So from my perspective, I am a husband. And to hear a woman talk like this, it's like, damn, do you value us at all? Outside of us giving you the kids, that's the only thing we're good for? Let me skip, because I'm about to say some stuff and it's not. I try and keep this show light. So let's. Oh, this is a woman who was on at the very beginning.
We couldn't hear you.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, you got better light, baby? It's like, can you get the light in your face?
Is that better?
Okay, this is a little better. What's your name, honey?
Mary.
Mary, where you calling me from?
Orlando, Florida.
Orlando, how old are you?
35.
35. What do you do for a living?
I'm a massage therapist and Reiki practitioner.
Can you move the camera over a little bit more, the opposite direction?
Like here.
Yeah, that's better. Okay. What's your job, honey?
I'm a Reiki practitioner and massage therapist.
You're a Reiki practitioner?
Mm-hmm.
What's
like
that?
spiritual healing.
Oh,
Like,
spiritual. Okay.
yeah,
And then what else?
massage therapist,
Massage therapist. What's your zodiac sign, honey?
Aries,
Aries. Do you have any kids?
a 7-year-old girl.
7-year-old girl. And let's do it. You're coming from Orlando. So Mary Orlando, 35, Aries. Can I call you a spiritual analyst, did you say?
Like, uh, you could say spiritual guru almost. Like, I don't know.
Spiritual guru. Okay. A massage therapist and a 7-year-old
Yeah.
daughter. What, are you looking for a man, I'm assuming, correct?
Yes. I yeah, I've been married twice. Um, in my 20s actually. And I don't know, I used to be an entertainer, so I met most of them as a dancer and
What kind of entertainer were you?
like a stripper.
Okay.
Yeah. So um
Oh
What did
I
you
don't know.
become
my
a
I'm
God,
spiritual guru?
bro.
I've always been kind of like into that. Like 2010, I started in the spa industry, and it just kind of elevated into something else. But I became a Reiki practitioner maybe like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm looking for a
Uh,
spiritual man, if that makes sense.
okay, you want a spiritual man.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to add before we go to your deal breakers?
Can't make this stuff up,
Uh,
man.
I'm looking for. I'm like seriously looking for a handyman. Like that is like my number one go-to. So, like if a guy like I don't know, that is the deal breaker. Not being a handyman. I need somebody with a skilled trade.
Okay, somebody with a skill.
Chris says these women, these chakra women, be pretty but different. Like Genuine's ex-wife, pretty but into the spiritual healing lifestyle. You know what? I'm trying not to say some stuff here. So, ex stripper. Now she's a massage therapist, living in Orlando with a 7-year-old. The real question is, do you guys think that her change in lifestyle came when you think it happened before or after she found out she was pregnant?
Trade. Okay. So deal breaker, you have to be a handyman. If he's not a handyman, does he have to look a certain way?
Height doesn't matter to me. Age doesn't really matter either. But I'm
Your
into
audio
all.
is. I'm sorry to cut you off. Your audio is not the best. I wanted to come back to
Okay.
you, but is there a way to fix your audio? Are we on Bluetooth or something?
Uh, is this better? Am
Let's
I
see if
too
this
far away
works.
from my mic?
It's just
Is that work?
staticky. It's just staticky.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh,
We gotta let's just try to move fast. Okay. So does
Please,
the guy
because
have
okay.
this
to
is
look a certain
loud.
way, and what about money?
I don't care about height and I don't care about the money at this time in my life. I just want someone who has a skilled trade, that the potential to make money.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do the Kendra Cam.
Oh, that. Okay. Okay.
You look good.
Thank you.
So you don't dance anymore.
No.
Okay.
I
Okay.
used to model professionally, but that's not the type of lifestyle I want to live. I'm more going towards the spiritual aspect of things.
Okay.
So yeah.
When was your last relationship, Mary?
2.5 years ago.
You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
Don't answer that.
It
Go
was my
on.
daughter's father like a week ago.
What in the
Like,
world?
yeah.
Why don't y'all just be together?
He's 65. He's too old. And
Oh
I'm looking for
man.
someone that is younger and has more life in him.
It.
Girl, you know that's a red flag for any man watching, knowing that you still sleep with your child's daddy.
I
Who's
know, but like,
65?
I don't, it's been 2.5 years I've been in a relationship. So what else am I going to do? I don't believe in playing with myself. So I'm too old for that.
So up until last week, you hadn't had sex in 2.5 years?
No, I couldn't wait that long. So, I mean, I've
Wait,
been
so I'm asking
celibate.
you a question. Up from last week, the last time you had sex prior to that was 2.5 years ago?
No, on and
Yeah,
off,
huh?
on and off.
Oh, okay, okay. So you said you
Yeah,
couldn't wait. You made it seem like you said it's been 2.5 years. So it wasn't 2.5 years.
it was 2.5 years since I've had a relationship. My last serious boyfriend,
Right.
but I've
Oh, but
had
in this
sex.
meantime, so do you have sex
I've
with
been.
your child's father often?
It's only recent, mainly recent.
All right.
Well, okay, what do you want again? You want a spiritual man? Do you want, maybe you don't. Do you want a committed relationship or that's not important to you?
I'm looking for a serious relationship, more like a life partner at this point. I don't want to do marriage too much, but just a long committed relationship. A business partner, a best friend, spiritual partner, but marriage, I've
What
tried it
kind of
already
spiritual
twice.
guru? What kind of spiritual guru are
Like,
you?
like, like, listen, I'm trying to get into Tantra, so that's more of a sexual healing of the
Oh,
spiritual aspect. So if I could find a partner who's willing to go to Bali and learn
Go to Bali, cause that's easy. Just pick up and go to another country on the other side of the world. Guys, look, I think this is an easy conclusion to come to. Is she marriageable? I don't think she's looking for marriage. She said she's been married twice already, and it hasn't worked. It'd be interesting to know if she actually married her child's father, who is 30 years older than her. So, God, AP, AP, man, come on, man. This man. Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying this stuff, man. You trying to get me in trouble. Yeah. Oh boy. We gonna keep moving.
Tantra with me, I'm all for it.
in the meantime, what kind of spiritual guru are you?
A Reiki healer. So, like balancing out a person's chakras, clearing out the auric field, stuff like that.
As a spiritual guru,
Channeling.
do you think you're living in the way to attract the kind of man that you could be in a committed relationship with?
Yes, I think I am. My life is peaceful. I don't have any trouble. I don't have any baggage and drama. My life is almost too peaceful that it's boring.
Yes, but you also still have sex with your child's father who's never going away. And your child's
Yeah.
only 7. So you have
Now,
to.
when I was in a relationship, I wasn't doing anything with him. But I'm like, there's no one in my life right now. I'm not even really. I've tried to date and nothing really sticks. I'm like, I might as well.
I understand. Listen, I understand your reasoning. I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean, again, I don't know the kind of guy though. Like, I think you're
Mhm.
attractive, right? So I don't
Thank
think you'll
you.
ever have a man problem. I think men will always be attracted to you. It just depends, are they going to settle down and be a life partner with you? And do you want a monogamous relationship or is it a free spirit relationship?
No, monogamous.
So you want a monogamous relationship. That's the goal.
Yeah.
What are 3 flaws you have to work on, you think, Mary?
I'm impulsive, impatient. I have a temper sometimes, a little sassy with my words. Um, I could be harsh with my words and um, what is it? Analytical. Um, like I need to move slower. I move.
She's not gonna say it, so I am. This stuff about I can use harsh words. What she's really trying to say is I got a bad attitude. That's what I got, an attitude problem. That's all that is. Impulsive and impatient are the same thing. So she has very little self discipline, a bad attitude.
Fast with a lot of things that I do.
Just to ask, I want to be clear. Your child's father, was he once your husband too?
No,
Oh, you didn't marry him. You married two
we
other men.
planned. Yeah,
This
we
keeps
planned to
getting
have a
better and
baby
better.
together, and that was it.
This just keeps getting better and better. You know what? I applaud Kendra for asking that question because 2 marriages, I just assumed that she married the child's father. No, she didn't. Yeah, boy. Man. Okay.
He's a really good dad.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Why would a guy be likely to be with you, Mary?
Well, I'm the full package. I'm intellectual, spiritual, sexual. Like I can stimulate every aspect of a guy. Um, I have humor. Uh, I stay in shape. I'm healthy. I'm holistic in every way. Like I try to balance and hit every point.
Okay. Let's see how this works, Mary Child.
Okay.
What's the age range you want to date? You're 35.
I would say 24 to 55.
24 to 55. All right. Mary Orlando, 35, Aries, spiritual guru, massage therapist, 7-year-old. Do you want more kids?
No,
No. Okay. You
no,
don't want marriage, just want a life partner.
yes.
Okay. Use the spirits to help you guide you in that way.
They're not helping me.
Well.
Oh my God.
I've tried everything. I've tried candle magic, whatever you can think of. It's not working.
You got,
Why is Kendra talking about her like that?
listen, I'm no spiritual guru.
Oh man.
Might say you might be blocking your own blessing.
You think so? With like interacting with my daughter's father?
Do I think so? Girl,
But
you just had sex with a 65-year-old man you plan to have a baby with last week, and now you're on my show talking about you want to find someone that's going to be in a committed relationship with you that ain't going to care that you had sex with a 65-year-old man last week and your child's 7. That means he's in your life for another 12 years, bare minimum, if not for life. And he's probably giving you money because I'm thinking if he's 65, he probably got some cash. I'm not sure if he gives you money every now and then. And you wondering why you ain't attract the man that you want to attract?
but he's not around other guys.
In the
Thank you,
spirit thing,
Kendra.
maybe the spirits is communicating, using me right now to communicate to you what the hell they've been trying to tell you via candles. If you've been trying to light candles, but they said, well, we're gonna touch Kendra's spirit so she could convey to you so you can understand.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Kendra G. Round of applause for this woman who kept it real.
Kendra, you're I don't know, like I don't see anything wrong with it. I feel like it's better safe with
Of course
him,
you don't
someone I
see
know, than just sleeping around
anything
with all
wrong with
these
it.
guys out here for 2.5 years. What else?
Yeah, listen. And
Yeah.
like I said in the beginning, I understand, but the type of guy that will wipe you up, again, you beautiful. So you're gonna have a guy that's gonna have sex with you. We're not talking about that. Sex and taking you serious and committing to you are two different things. So will men have sex with you? Absolutely. You're gorgeous. Are they gonna bypass the type of guy that wants to be in a committed relationship? That is a huge red flag. And not
But
even just that, but you have some self-healing to do if you want that type of energy. I think you want to make excuses for the physical aspect, and that's fine if you're physical. In the physical mindset, I totally get it. You don't want to be physical with a lot of men. This is your child's father. You had a baby together. So in my mental, I understand. But a man that wants to settle down and build something with a woman, that's a huge red flag for that type of guy. Now, a man that just wants to play with you and have sex with you and hang out with you and have a good time here and there, this seems like a dream come true.
I'm kind of like waiting to see how serious the next guy is. I can't get past typically a phone conversation with a guy.
How about you become serious about you? Stop worrying about a man. Like, that's the problem. Men are treating you the way you treat yourself. How about you become serious about you, and then men will have no choice to be serious about you because then you will be turned off. So as soon
Well,
as you take yourself serious and start making some serious changes, you will then attract a man that's going to be serious about you. You're not serious about you right now.
You think that I need to just that the energy.
Okay, all conversations aside, I mean Kendra's spitting facts right here. I keep looking around in the background in this room. What type of room is this that she's in? Is this like a trailer? So I'm looking at this ceiling and I'm just like, because I've completely tuned her out because it's just it just the dominoes just keep falling. I'm trying to figure out what is going on in this room. It's like full of stuff, and then it makes you wonder, like, yeah, I you know what? It's getting late. We almost at the end of this one. Okay, let's keep going.
That I'm connecting myself with my daughter's father is kind of like getting in the way of me attracting the right flow of the proper guy to me.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, you having sex with a 65-year-old man that you plan to have a baby with, no judgment. That was the plan. But there's consequences to that. I think we don't talk enough about consequences for the actions that we create, right? So you wanted to have a child. You said he's a good father. And so in that accord, you made the right decision for that decision. But there's consequences to that decision when it comes to your dating pool now. And you have
I
to be
see.
aware of that and acknowledge that.
I see that perspective. It makes sense. It sounds like something my sister would say. Um, honestly, that makes a lot of sense because
Sim City says she calls that room Waters of Minnetonka. Man, y'all are hilarious, bro. Oh
I
man.
think that's the overall theme, though. Consequences. People do not think enough about. You can do things, and I even understand why you do things because it made sense, and I get for your life that made sense. But there's still a consequence you have to deal with because of those decisions. And I just think more so than anything is one thing to have a child, but you still are physically active with your child, and this is a man that does not go away. And I don't know. This is an assumption. You tell me if I'm wrong. Does he help you out with bills? My thought is 65. He helped you out with bills.
uh, not like I want him to. I wouldn't
Oh
say
my
he's just
God.
giving me not like that.
Translation. He's a sugar daddy that got her pregnant. Man, come on, man. And she looking for a new guy. Oh, this is what happens when when our daughters get raised with no knowledge of the male experience. She views all this stuff as okay. She's just floating around through life and says, "Oh yeah, everything's fine." He said, AP said he's 65. He's going away probably pretty soon. It's like this woman has no idea the damage that she has done to herself in potential husbands' eyes. Like she said it earlier, well, the spirits aren't helping me right now. No. Because men who are marriage minded know to stay away from you. Because you're the fun time girl. She's just, again, I may have to do another video about this because there's long-term effects of being the fun time girl when you're young. When she talked about being a stripper. Why do I get the impression that those were her glory days? That was the funnest time in her life. Because she's talking about going to Bali and all this other stuff. And it's like, where? Was she hoping to marry her sugar daddy and he just said no? Is that what happened here? Because he's not giving me as much money as I want. Makes you wonder how, she's the one-time girl. And if you're looking to get married, you have to stay away from Let me stop. Let's keep going. We're almost done.
Not like that. I
What
see.
bills do he pay?
I mean, nah, none. I mean, he's
None.
about to
Okay.
go back on child support, but I
So
took
you're
him
just
off of that.
attracted to a 65-year-old man.
Well, my first husband was a 65-year-old man. I've always been into older men,
Why?
but
Why
I'm
you
trying to
why
be
do you like older men?
because they're more manly and they
Oh my God. It's more than one guy who's 65. Oh my God. Oh my God. Man, I, I,
have different. They come from a generation where men were taught to be men. Like all know how to do handyman skills. They all know how to use a hammer. They know how to treat a woman properly.
what's it with her and this handyman stuff? I mean, we on YouTube, right? Like, how many DIY videos are on YouTube? Like, what type of. You know what? This is. You know what? This might be a learning experience because her argument is that men were men back in the day. I want to hear this out. This is important. Let's go ahead and listen to this.
Like I get treated better by my daughter's father than
Then
guys
why
that try to
can't you
take me out
just
on a date.
then I think he's the
He's
best bet
not the
for you.
one. He's
Why is he
very
not the
toxic
one?
in ways. He's not the one.
Then
That's
why are you
like
sleeping with a toxic man?
because it's convenient.
You can make
I mean, I'm not the type of person that's gonna play with toys and stuff. I feel like that's for
okay,
children. I
that's
was a
fine, but this
virgin
goes back to the
for so
consequences of
long.
the actions that I'm saying. Like this
Yeah.
goes back to that you have to own up to the consequences to your actions. So you're sitting up here and you're telling me that this man's a good father, he's a handyman, like you said some really good attributes, and then you said he's toxic. So then that's why I said don't worry about a man becoming serious about you have to become serious about you. So you can't say all these negative things, but then make sense of, well, this is why I still have sex with him. Like
Okay,
two
he's
things can't
not
be
a
true.
handyman though. I had my ex, the one I was married to was. Those two
Girl, Mary,
were.
I can't help you. Go let a kid
Yeah.
on the stage and talk to the people. I done gave the message. You're going to receive it or you're not going to receive it. It's your life. You got to live
Yeah.
it after we get off this live. So whatever decision you make is going to affect you. It's not going to
Oh
affect
God.
me. I don't know anything, but I do think I said some things that could help you if you want to receive it. But if not, the man that you want, how can he reach out to you, child?
Um, can I give my email on there down
Sure.
below?
Give it to him, Mary. Give it to him. Give me your email, man.
We're gonna stop it there. Cause this was holy shit. My God, man. And the more this woman talked, the worse it got. Y'all want to know something interesting? In the beginning, I actually thought this woman was marriageable. Right? Because, I mean, she's in shape. She looks feminine. And she talks like she's cooperative. But it's, oh my God. As long as, my initial notes were, as long as you could get past the spirituality thing, because she seems like that's really important to her, and the fact that she's got a kid. But if you could get past those things, again, she's in shape, she's feminine, she's cooperative. None of that matters. Oh my God. This woman here had so many things come up that were issues. You see, get with her, you still got to worry about her 65, her ex who is 30 plus years older than her, who she's still having sex with. You got to worry about him. Then you also have to worry about the fact that we didn't even get into what were the reasons why she got divorced twice. Something tells me that there's something else there. But you also have to deal with the fact that this woman can't hold she can't hold herself accountable for nothing. It's just like, it's just, you also have to deal with the fact that she has a promiscuous past. And it might even be a promiscuous present, because she was talking about what is with the age thing with her. Like, what is with her and 60-year-old guys? I thought we were going to get a little bit of the argument or the point that, men just aren't men anymore, which, by the way, that's not a true statement. Women will try and shame men today with that argument. It's like, oh no, men aren't men today, and blah blah blah. That's why I'm not submissive. That's a bunch of BS. Because if women today would have been around back then, they would have. Okay. And the other side of that argument today is women aren't traditional anymore. So why should you be a traditional man if you're not with a traditional woman? I agree with that. But there was just so much here. I mean, she called it. She is impulsive and impatient. This is how you end up in the relationships like she's been in. She is clearly the fun time girl. She says she's not looking for marriage. She just wants long-term commitment. But I don't even know if she qualifies for that at this point, because she just has too much going on in her life. And it's like, okay, you and these 60-year-old men is, yeah, Chris says her body, damn. Yeah, I mean, she stayed in shape from when she was, she was a dancer. But you honestly, man, it's at this point, it's just fool's gold. It looks nice, but oh boy. This is the last lady for tonight, and this is just sad, is what it is, because I don't think this might be the first time that I don't think we found there were any marriageable women. Let's see, Valentina, that was the scientist who was wrapped up in her career, and nope. Naomi was the 24-year-old registered nurse. Nope. Then we got the woman who didn't want to give her name. Unique photo. Oh, she gave her name. I just didn't write it down. Unique Photos, who doesn't believe in marriage. So, and then this woman, Mindful Mary, she's a fun time girl. So yeah, the chances of her. Yeah. I'm not saying you can't marry the fun time girl. I mean, here's the thing, because we got to talk about this. Being a fun time girl is not a deal breaker when it comes to marriage. From the man's perspective, if I was giving advice to, like, a younger cousin or something like that, my advice to them would be is that know what you're getting yourself into. You want to marry the fun time girl? That's fine. Just make sure that she has enough positive attributes that she's bringing to the marriage that it can outweigh her past relationship or her promiscuous past. Because relationships are, at the end of the day, relationships are about balance. So, this woman here has so much baggage coming, and I don't know. I mean, upon further inspection, she may be able to balance it out. I mean, it might be worth it for some guys, but because I don't think she had an income requirement. So that there may be a good match for her. It's just that's a big hurdle to get over. I mean, I think that it's unfortunate to say this, but ladies, this is the direct result of you lowering your value. You have to deal with low value men. So she could potentially be marriageable to a lower value guy. That may be the silver lining here, because the rest of the women we saw tonight, you would have a hard time convincing me that the rest of these people were actually looking for a commitment. I mean, they could say it all they want, but actions speak volumes. So, but it almost feels like this. I don't know if this night was productive as far as the women that we saw, because again, the point is to show that there are marriageable women out there. Yeah, we didn't really get there. And I think this, Chris, have we ever had a show like this where none of the women were marriageable? I don't know. Accountability partner says, this was fun. Your patience with going through these is that of a monk. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate the compliment. One of the reasons why I do this show is it's not to poke fun at people or women for that matter, but the majority of my channel is devoted towards rebuilding our community, and I'm a big believer that marriage is the way we do that as far as a relationship standpoint, and building, making the world a better place for the next generation. So this is the first show we've had where there were no marriageable women. Yeah, well, I mean, it's the first time for everything, but next time we're definitely gonna. Actually, you know what? That's almost guaranteed that we can prove that there are marriageable women out there. The fact that we've never had a show to where it's just none of them were, that speaks volumes. But my point, the point I was getting at before that was, is that I think marriage is a social construct that we can use to actually rebuild our community. The main reason why our community is what it is because we keep raising our kids not to trust each other. I've said this before, we're raising them to be soldiers in the gender war. And one of the ways that we combat that is through marriage and family. Now, does that mean that you should go out there and marry the first girl, whatever? No. You should have some standards. Okay? And you need to, whatever those are, I always choose the 6 categories: fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless. Most men are looking for 3 to 4 out of the 6. I think that a big problem in our community that I'm discovering recently through doing this show is that most men haven't made a decision as to what attributes a woman have that can actually benefit them in their life as they're making their way through their purpose. So it's a lot of aimless choices, and then you end up with women who are not necessarily, a good match for you. But that's another reason why I do this show is number one, to give the ladies something to work on for themselves, because a lot of the times we have these conversations, but we don't provide any solutions for the women. It's either their wife or they're just dead, and there's no hope in that. And I don't believe that. I think that women can change, and in those 6 categories, you can see improvements in those. There is space for room for improvement. For the guys, I want you guys to start actually, if you're a marriage-minded man, I want you to actually put some thought into what it is that's going to benefit you the most from a relationship. Like, what are you going to get out of it outside of sex? That's obvious. Because if all you're looking for is sex, there's no point in getting married. Just don't have any kids. Again, surprisingly, the guy who's pro-marriage doesn't recommend marriage for anybody. In most cases, if you're an average man and you're not looking to have kids, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say why you would want to get married. But, I mean, everyone has their reasons. I mean, but the point is that despite what a lot of my commenters say, this channel is not about bashing women. It is because I'm very much pro-marriage. I think that we're better together than we are apart. And the reality is that we still need each other. A couple, earlier in this episode, I showed you guys what the average income is. I forget what city it was in, but, we looked up the average income for, it's Houston. All right, let me put this on screen because this is important. We talk about the average income for men in Houston, and it's rounding up to $35,000, right? For women, it's $25,000. So as someone who spent 5 years in financial services, I can go ahead and tell you at this level of income, you're not making enough money to make it to the end of life through retirement. This is what I say when I say we still need each other. See, because when you combine these income, well, now you have something to work with. But this whole idea is that I can do it by myself and I don't need anybody. No, you can't. And it's not just you're not just gonna bravado your way through it. No, the numbers say no, it's not going to happen. So you're gonna have to figure something out. Well, this is where, being a soldier in the gender war ends up being a detriment to you. So we got to do a better job of raising our kids to work in cooperation with one another. And then we also, as a man, if a marriage-minded man, you should have a vetting process. And it should include, again, the matriarch of your family, preferably one who is married, right? But if not, if your mom's not married, your mom still wants the best for you. And she doesn't care how fine the girl is or how good her sex game is. She wants a woman who is going to have relationship skills for the most part. So men and women need to do a better job of vetting. For whatever reason, we don't like to use the tools that are available to us, and we gotta do better with that. But again, if you're not raised to value the opposite gender, why would you? So see how that works. That's why I say these topics are they're interchangeable, meaning that when you solve for one, you have to solve the other ones. Otherwise, it doesn't go outside of that one generation. But I'm starting to babble on, so I want to give some shout outs here, because shout out to the AP accountability partner for coming through. Want to thank all the super chats. Y'all go check out Security Boss. I think most of y'all might be subscribed to her channel anyway, but I definitely appreciate her stopping through. I don't know if she's still here or not, but hey, I'm just glad to have a celebrity, right? Shout out to my moderator, Chris, who makes this show a whole lot easier to do. And shout out to Sim City. I've been seeing you coming through on the live streams, man. I appreciate you stopping by. All right. But guys, we're going to call it a night. And I'm going to stay ghost to the next time. And remember, channel membership is open. I got, as far as upcoming things on the channel, we've got the clips from this live stream are going to be up. But also, something else is coming too. I can't remember what it is. I have to check, cause this stuff is pre-recorded already. So I don't know what else is coming out this week. But the channel membership is going to get new content. I want to say this weekend, and those videos will not be accessible to subscribers. Unfortunately, you have to be a channel member to do that. So that being said, I said it already. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say goes to the next time. Peace.